Yeah, either way. I mean, we have great facilities indoors. We can get everything in, but definitely to get guys the spikes on their feet, take some ground balls in the dirt, get those initial blisters out of the way of running on and off the field. We were able to scrimmage for about 8 innings each day on the weekend, so saw a lot of the things you usually see in the first weekend. So hopefully it'll be a little less of that in the first weekend of actual playing.
Any guys dealing with injuries going into this first series?
As far as overall, I think we're in a good place. Derek Burkhamper threw live yesterday, threw very well. He just doesn't have his pitch count built up. He'll be available for Sunday. All the guys coming back from, McSteen and Fisher and Hohensee. Hohensee won't be with us first weekend, but they're all doing well. Zach Engelken still, we won't have him until probably the beginning of April. Schreiber seems to be doing okay. We're just going to have to monitor his workload. Other than that, I think we should be all right.
Will Torkamper be available for that reliever role or maybe a starting role on Sunday?
Like I said, his pitch count isn't built up enough to start. So maybe an inning or two at the most. But again, we'll see where it's at. But we're encouraged by how he threw yesterday, and just keep building him up.
Do you have an idea of what the starting rotation is going to look like?
Matt Waldron will go the first game. Paul Tillotson game 2. Ben Miller will pitch in DH the third game. That'll be kind of a staff game, and Jake Myers will be the Sunday starter.
What do you see from Tillotson fall to put him in there as a true freshman on the first weekend?
Physical, handled the pace of college practice pretty well. Most importantly, the stuff held. It wasn't like it was a one inning and it fell off in the fourth and fifth innings of his outings. The stuff was still there. That's a sign of good physical strength. And he's a freshman, but he likes to compete, and he's earned it.
What's physical? When you say physical for a pitcher, what do you?
Well, a lot of times you get a 6'3", 170-pound frame you can dream on that needs to put on some weight that maybe doesn't have the strength that can maintain their velocity. Paul's a very physical, he's a strong, well put together, developed kid, and that allows him to maintain his stuff. And that's something, you get a young guy where he's super excited first inning, he's 90 to 94, and then the next inning he's 84. And Paul was able to hold his stuff. And as a starter, you got to be able to mix your pitches. You got to have more than maybe just 2 pitches, and you got to be able to maintain it. It's not easy to go through a lineup twice, let alone 3 or 4 times in college baseball. So he's a guy that is very valuable because he can start, he could close, he could be that long guy out of the pen. Where it ends up, eventually we'll see. But for the first weekend when we're a little bit short, he's the next guy up.
Do you see some of that from Curry too?
Oh, absolutely. Curry's, they're both for freshmen are very physical. Connor, we got to make sure we put him in situations early where the game is a little slower for him in that respect. But Connor's doing a great job as well, and he'll get thrown into the fire this weekend as well.
Do you kind of handle things differently the first weekend, knowing that you have 4 games and you've got a number of guys that can kind of help you in a variety of roles than maybe you would, in March or April or something like
Absolutely, and especially we're not going to go and throw a guy 100 pitches. It's everybody's not built up exactly how they're going to be in a few weeks. That and also guys like Nate Fisher, Jake McSteen, Luis Alvarado that have came off an injury or haven't pitched at all. They're one-time a weekend guys, so they're going to be kind of in that 40 to 50 pitch range. So we're going to have guys starter A, starter B, a couple long guys, piggyback starters with another guy. So yes, it is kind of especially when we're shorthanded a couple guys the first week, and we're going to try and maximize everybody's pitch totals.
A couple of the guys talked about in the offseason you were having them focus on conscious breathing, kind of being aware of the moment and breathing in the moment. Can you expound upon that a little bit?
Well, I heard that's kind of important to breathe. You can talk about it all you want to actually know how to do it. It's the same. It happens every year, no matter what you talk about. You go to the mound first couple weekends, freshman's out there, you tell them to breathe, and they take a breath and their shoulders move, and okay, now you can stop hyperventilating and let's take a real breath. So just helping them understand how you do that, how you get deep into your belly, understanding how that's going to be your best friend when stuff hits the fan, because it's going to hit the fan. You're going to get punched in the face. You're going to face adversity. You're going to be uncomfortable, and how comfortable do you get being uncomfortable?
If we're trading lineup cards, what am I going to see?
What are you going to see?
Yeah. Like 1 through 9 at the plate.
Oh, that lineup. Well, I think I kind of told you about what we plan on doing up top. and we'll kind of just see how it plays out. Again, I think what's going to happen, we're going to end up playing a doubleheader Friday right out of the gate because there's weather on Saturday and Sunday. So we're going to try and get 2 in for sure on Friday. So as far as who's going to be in there, we're probably looking at Myers, Schreiber, Miller, Wilkening, Rayburn. Probably you're going to see a Ben Klinke in there maybe with Schlepp, Luis Alvarado, and Angelo Altavilla. If you're putting me on the spot, that's it today.
Well, because mine has Rizzo and.
Oh, I knew you were going to say that. Yeah. Yours is better, okay?
Rayburn, shortstop.
Yeah, he'll be there. He'll get some time at third as well. Cronenbold will also get some time at short. And Angelo Altavilla can play short as well. We'll let them decide it on the field, see how it plays out.
What kind of hitter is Rayburn?
Oh, he's a contact guy, good, gap-to-gap type of power. He might run into a couple, but can run the bases really well. Really understands what he does well at the plate as far as his strengths are. And he's done a nice job with his barrel contact, his consistency of that, and just like I said, he's an experienced college hitter that understands his swing, understands what he's capable of doing, and is excited to play since he's kind of been injured and not really had a chance to start on a consistent basis. So, he's just been a very nice, pleasant piece of the puzzle.
How's he kind of fit in? Because you don't usually see a graduate transfer in college baseball, not very often at least.
It's interesting because you're like looking for that veteran leadership, and he brings that, but he hasn't been here with these guys. So just seeing how he blends with the guys, and it looked to me from my point of view, he blended in seamlessly. He's just a tremendous kid. He works very hard. He's living in the batting cage. We put in that extra work, and all of a sudden he just kind of just gels with those guys that are doing the same thing. And he's not a loud guy by any means. Just kind of goes about his business and plays hard. And it's so far it's been great.
Did you convey to the guys what this place was like when you were hosting regionals and super regionals? Do you ever have that discussion with anybody?
We've talked about the path of least resistance to get to Omaha, and obviously that comes through here. They've had great success doing that in the times that they have played in Omaha. We talk a little bit about it. I don't know how much it really translates and how much they understand, and so they understand the tradition here that happened, not too long ago. It's not a super long tradition, but it's definitely something that has set the expectation high, which we love, and they understand that, and they know how important baseball is to this community, and how important it is to get us back on the map. And I think they've really, they do understand that, but we don't talk a ton about it.
What's your level of familiarity with what it was like here, mainly during the College World Series years?
I wasn't really around, so
did you hear about it?
I know what it was like at the Buck. It surely didn't sound like that's what it was like. So the transformation was just phenomenal of what happened, and how the run they had was just magical, and helped get this place built. And it's just like I said, it's raised the expectations, and I think that's fantastic. And on the outside looking in, I was a huge fan because the College World Series going on. You're in a major league clubhouse, and
right.
Of course, people, Nebraska, what are they doing in there? It's like with all those schools that are there every year. So it was definitely a lot of pride, and definitely something I want to get this program back to.
Is Troy Percival a guy that you kind of keep up with and talk to regularly, or what's kind of your relationship with him?
Pretty much every day. Yeah, I mean, we've been in touch ever since we played together, and when he was going through the process of deciding whether he wanted to coach or not, he asked me what's it like, and then when he took the job, it's like, okay, how do you follow this rule? How do you follow this rule? What are the hours? just all the little things that I had no clue about when I started, but now I could help him a little bit. And now it's just the normal talk of two friends.
When you were sympathize with him a little bit, having gone through that though, I mean, yourself.
There's nothing to sympathize. I
mean, like the adjustment of kind of going into college coaching.
Well, when you start talking about it, you realize how little you really knew when you came and started the job. So, you just try and break it down and just say it gets easier. You'll understand. Just ask questions, and he's a tremendous baseball mind. So that's not a problem. You can figure that out pretty quickly.
Standing here, year 6, Darin, is this your program progressed at the rate that you want?
Well, if you take an overview of the program, I'm very, very happy with a lot of areas that have progressed, to get our graduation rate almost to 90%, after it was in the 40s when we took over. I think that's a staple of this university. Just the way our guys go about their business on and off the field, I'm very pleased overall. I mean, we're not without our own hiccups, but from the foundation of things like that, how we go about our business in the game, I feel like our guys play very hard. They understand that that's just what Nebraska people do. Now, have we won enough games? Absolutely not. We've been there, we've been close, we've had our foot in the door a couple times, and we haven't done much. We've had an opportunity to win Big Ten titles, we haven't done that. So those are definitely long-term, big picture goals. It would be nice to cross off the list, but as far as how our guys go about their business each and every day, I'm pleased with the way they go about their business.
Is playing host to a regional kind of a next step type of conversation?
Well, I think that's the blueprint to where you want to get. I mean, that's the yeah. I mean, that's just. I mean, the odds are in your favor when you host regionals. So we're going to give them a schedule that's challenging enough to build an RPI and a strength of schedule to give them that opportunity to do that. And if it works out, great. If it doesn't, they're going to be battle tested and ready to play whoever they have to play. And that's kind of how our mindset's always been, and we're going to continue to do that.
How's Jesse progressed from last year to this? Obviously, you're asking a lot from the catcher.
Yeah, he has the skill set. He's always really good catch and throw guy. Just, as a freshman, just knowing you have to be vocal with the pitchers regardless of how old you are, and when the pitcher's getting out of control, you have to slow it down for them. Just understanding the signs, the situations that come up, and just being a couple steps ahead of it. I mean, there's a reason why there's managers all over the place that are catchers, because they're usually 2, 3, 4 steps ahead of the game. And that next step for him is just understanding what's coming and just, from controlling the pitching staff to making the right calls on cuts and relays, things like that. It just, it's just a natural progression. And at the plate, he just needs to continue to work on pitch selection. When he gets his pitch, let it rip.
What are your strengths and weaknesses going into the season?
Strengths, I mean, we got a little bit of experience on the mound. We got part of our lineup back that has, got some hits for us, drove some runs in, hit some homers, got some outs for us on the mound. Defensively, we've had some guys that have played, at a pretty high level. Left side of the infield defensively is an unknown. We like our options, but they haven't done it at a college level. So, is that a weakness? I don't think it will be over time, but it's probably a little bit of an unknown as far as that goes. And just some of the new pitchers of what they're going to bring. I like their potential, but how quickly we get up to game speed at the college level will be important to our season.
Hey, Coach, it's not usually this weather in February. How nice is it as a team to get these extra days outside to work on the field?
Like I said, it doesn't matter. I mean, we have unbelievable indoor facilities. We can get everything in place, but you can't recreate ground balls on the dirt. You can't recreate blisters on your feet. Running on and off the field, wearing your cleats for 8 or 9 innings in a day. So those type of things have been nice to be able to get outside and get used to. But that has had zero bearing on what we've done as a team in our time here, because we get everything done inside.
How soon did you know last year that Lensman would be a closer type guy?
Well, I mean, you just don't know. You don't know at what level they're going to progress and how quickly they get up to the game speed or how they handle it. And we threw him out there. He was last spring inside. He's going 90 and 93, and we're like, holy cow. And he gets out of College of Charleston, and he's going 84 to 86. We're like, what's going on here? And the nerves are real. I mean, that's part of the deal. And then he calmed down and got it going. But once you see his demeanor on the mound, you see his presence and his ability to command his fastball, and he just kind of relished in those situations.
Wilkington said he went through the same thing. First time he got up to bat, he took 3 strikes.
He was hyperventilating about as hard as you could without passing out. So it's as much as you talk about it, you really have to just throw him in there. And the more you play, the more confidence you get of being in those situations. And we'll get some new guys in there, and I'm sure we'll have some situations that'll be interesting. But I know one thing: the boys are going to play hard.
How was your hockey season?
We're in 3rd place. We tied the leading team 4-4 on Sunday. So it's. I'm missing the last 3 weeks of the season, so I'm hoping our guys make the postseason so we can I can help out the green machine. Yeah.
Okay. Do they have a replacement for you?
They do. They brought in a young whippersnapper guy that he's a little out of shape, but he's got a little skill set. But
You're Wallington?
I don't know. Hopefully, maybe I'll get dropped down to the Melrose division or something. I don't know. We'll have to see.